I'm hoping this is screen recording and it is audio recording. So this is my lesson. Go ahead and play it. So these are two students. I know that one of them is 3 and the other one is 5. So I asked them about what we've been learning about in whole group, and they talked about spiders. And then I asked them about where they live, and they said in webs. And I said, why do they live in webs? And he said, so they can catch flies. And then I said, can they just chomp, chomp, chomp a fly? No, we've learned about how they catch flies in a web, and they wrap them up, and they can't chomp because they don't have teeth like a mouth like we do. They have fangs or feeders. And so then I asked him when he started smiling, I said, so why do they, what is that, what does the, oh, look at the excitement on her face. Anyways, what does the fangs help them do? And he said it puts venom on them so that it makes them into a smoothie. So they know that the venom breaks down the flies and then makes it into a smoothie so then they can suck it through their fangs. So then I said, today we're going to be spiders. And I said, can we pretend to be spiders? I said, your hand is all your legs. And let's run around like spiders all over the table. And as you can tell, they were very excited to be spiders. And then I said, what kind of spiders are you? And she said, I'm a pink spider. He said, I'm a tarantula. And then she said, actually, I want to be a pink tarantula. Oh my gosh. So exciting. So then I told them another student interrupting us, but I made them the outside of their web, and they had to use their silky web, which is what he says, silky web. They're going to use their silky web to make their spider web. So I demonstrate here just kind of like how they can put it through and pull it through, and you can go all which way around. You can use any holes you want. You can use all of them going across, or you can use only a couple of them. It's up to them. So then I handed it to them. And the excitement is for real. So here I'm just observing, making sure that they pull the string all the way through, because that seemed to be something that I didn't really realize when I made the string as long as I did, so that they could make a very sticky, catchy web, that it would be kind of difficult because they're only so tall. So then I started helping a little bit, just making sure that it was pulled all the way through. For future reference, that is something that I talked about not necessarily making it that long, because students are only so tall and their arms are only so long. So I felt like I needed to help them a lot. I'm not sure what I'm asking them here. I asked her I asked her where she thinks she should put the next one so that it goes across the spider web. Mr. Independent over here is just going for it. So then I bring the book to use as a reference. So we talked about why is it important for the web to go across, the silky web to get strung across. I said, I used a little, like, I think it was a puzzle piece at first as a reference. I said, so if this fly, and I said, well, let's pretend this is a fly. If it flies through my web and I only have this much web, is it going to catch that fly? And she said, no. And I said, so do you think maybe we should add a little bit more? She said, yeah. So then, as you can see, she continues to put the web through. And then for his, I noticed he was starting to go like around the outside a little bit. So I did a little bit of intervention, and I said, okay, what about this big hole right here? What can we do to not go around the outside so that we can actually catch our spider, or our fly, in our spider web? Maybe that'll go away. Yep, there we go. So I said, if we're on this side of the paper and we need to go across, what does that mean? And then he picked up on that and put it through. So then I asked her, I said, "Are we done now?" "No, I don't think so." I said, "So if we're over here, where should we go? Where's a cross?" And I said, "A cross would be over here." And then I held it so that she could just focus on pulling it all the way through. Something else I might change is maybe use like more durable paper plates, because as you see when he was pulling it, it like kind of folds in half. But she did a good job after realizing that she went across, then which way was across. So using like those directional words and positional words. And he's still going for it. He is a little bit more independent, I noticed, and has a little bit more control of his fine motor skills. And he realized that he undid what he had already done, so then he puts it back. All while I'm helping her. So then I undid one because I think she went, oh, I said, "Whoa, we almost got that fly." And then there were other kids that kept coming over and asking when they got to make their webs, which I did end up doing all of the webs with all of the kids. Everybody got a chance to make a web. And then he says, "I think I'm done," because he doesn't have very much string left. And I said, "Let's see if we can catch that fly." And then I said, "Look, do you see how he caught his fly?" And she was so excited for him. So then I took a stapler and I just stapled the string so that it wouldn't undo itself. And then I wrote their names on it so that they could use it later on. At first, I had them all put them in their cubbies, but then I, on my documentation panel, you can see that uh, they willingly got them out of their cubbies and played with them in the science center. And then I said, "This fly maybe is just too big. Maybe you would catch smaller flies," because it was not catching it in her web. But you could see that it was like slowing it down. I said, "Maybe your silky web is very sticky, and then you'd be able to catch it." So then I gave them high fives, told them all they did great, and then I went and grabbed the stapler and chose 2 more students to continue. I know my video is a little bit short, but I did read this book before in whole group with all the students, so I felt like I had been teaching a while, so that's where I'm at.